Hello, we welcome here. We welcome you here in the shelter Foo, and now we have a lecture. It's 21st century digital bikes, no gas, no fee or tax, no driver license. What is possible with electric-powered vehicles today and in the near future? Please give a warm hand for Cosmo.
Thank you and welcome to my talk about 21st century digital bikes. I want to give an introduction in electronic powered vehicles, especially in this Veloce bicycles with an electronic support motor. First, why this talk? It's a report from the make department. This is hands-on hardware. We have to handle screws and stuff with electronics, not classical computer system, digital programming stuff. So this would be a basic journey to this technology and what's different to a normal bike or to classical support motors from older generations. I will also talk about my background to this topic. I have about 1 year experience with this stuff, and so I can give some information further from this new frontier, so not so many people using these tools today. Yes, you see it, there are demo vehicles on the camp, and for sure it's free to ride. Everyone who is interested can have a ride outside on the runway, no problem. The small bike or this tricycle can be tested. We have also some more electronic vehicles on the campsite. Questions, this is at the end of the talk. Who's talking there? I'm Gizmo. I'm fellow geek in the CCC. In real life, I'm working in the IT department, regular computer stuff, network equipment. And yes, since August 2006, there is an interest to this electronic systems on bicycles and motor support for my vehicle to get around. So this means I'm a newbie to this topic. I also learned, I also just learned this stuff, and I'm not a regular for a decade or so. Why this is my personal revenge, we get on this later. So, how's the talk organized? We have 5 primary topics. First would be an introduction to PWM hub motors. That's the core part of the whole bicycle. PWM is a pulse width modulation. It's eine Pulsweitenmodulation auf Deutsch, so English and German words are comparable. It's a special technique to drive electronic motors, and this will be about this basic technology. PWM is a general purpose technology, so PWM is built in many motor systems from really small scale and micro-based up to really huge motor systems, so it's not directly connected to this bicycle project. So the second part for sure is PWM on a bicycle. What is the factor, what's the point, what kind of PWM motor do we use on this bicycle stuff? The third thing is connected to this PWM technology, there's a microcontroller in the system. We have a digital controlled system on it, and so yes, you all know what this means. There's some hackability, and I will explain some of the things. The fourth part is the legal situation. Yes, this is a powered vehicle, and every powered vehicle is on a regulation out on the street, on the official streets. So I can tell about the German and the European laws, what you can do on in the public with these vehicles. And at the end, my experience with these 2 bikes, what happened in the last year. So these are the parts. So what is a PWM hub motor? I talked about the microcontroller. It's a small brick from an Atmel system, pre-configured for this computing. The point is we have directly regulated power like an amplifier. It's with a MOSFET field effect transistor inside, and you can have power regulation with this microcontroller. We'll get on this later in detail and show some graphs. It's a generic technology, and so some vendors now build it in a proper size and appropriate way for these bicycles. The point for the motor in connection with this digital controller, it's a brushless DC motor. Brushless means we have only two connectings on the axle. There's no coal brush or stuff like on an old electronic motor, so they're free spinning. I will show it also in a picture later. So this is the motor. Sorry for this picture, it's really bad, but basic concept is clear. We have a static center, that's the star ring in the middle. This one is statically fixed on the axis inside the wheel, and the ring around is a magnetic ring. This is a permanent earth magnetic ring which is fixed on the turning side, spinning side of the wheel. So this is partly the point where the force is inserted into the wheel. A third thing here is an Hall effect sensor. It's inside. This means the microcontroller is able to know about the position of the motor, about the rotation situation, and what is the real world turning situation of the motor. This is a picture from a single wheel. You see the hub motor again. This is from the rear side, like on a trike. This one is, there is it opened. This is the open motor. In the middle you can see is the stator, the coil, as a copper coil is statically mounted to the axis, and around this the ring, it's not on the picture, there would be the permanent magnetic ring around this copper coils. Just a moment. Okay, so there is not the classical rotation. Sorry, I have to reorganize this. No, hands-free. Okay, sorry, excuse me. So, to the point with the pulse width modulation, what does a microcontroller do? It does not accelerate by raising the voltage to the motor. It's on a static voltage, and the acceleration is done by the width of the pulse which is injected into the wheel. You can see this on the red bars. This is just a demo graph. We are not driving with 300 volts, so the numbers are not relevant to this example. The red bars are the pulse width, which is elevated from pulse to pulse to produce this quasi-sinus wave, so you can get this rotation effect and transmit the electronic power into a turning force to power this motor. This is how one phase would look like. Inside the motor there are 3 of these coils twisted in another, and these 3 phases are separated against each other, and with this power inset the wheel is finally spinning. There is a little graph. You can see the 3 coils in yellow, green and purple, and they are scattered. The sine wave and the force line is the resulting force that's powered into the wheel. So this is a basic concept. Now to some better parts. The interesting parts, the PWM used on a bicycle. So what do we need? Well, for sure, a bike. Every bike, modern bike, should be okay. It's fine what's outside and what's in the mass production. We need the hardware for the driving kit, for the microcontroller, the motor itself, and some other equipment I will talk about. And yes, right, it's an electronic vehicle, so we have the point where we go to the power, and we need accumulators and a battery. For the mobile system, we have no wall plug. So yes, this is always the special part, how to handle these and how much you can do with your PWM motor bicycle. Depends on your battery capacities and stuff. So first to the bike. All standard bikes are good, it's no problem. You can use classical uprights, recumbents, trikes, this one. And also quad systems I've seen, it's no problem. The wheels can be built in to 20-inch wheels up to 28-inch, so you're free to choose where you want to put it on the bicycle. It's also possible to get it a front axis or with a chain connector to bring it in the back wheel and also pedal into the motor. The things that need to get enhanced on classical bikes, like you buy it on a bicycle store, is the first thing you will need better brakes before you build in the motor. Upgrade the brakes, especially if you drive faster than classical 25 kilometers. You really want to enhance these. The cogwheel dimension is relevant because with an upper speed and a higher speed, you need a gear where you still can push force into the pedals. So if the bicycle is too fast and you have already your highest gear, so you just spin in but are not unable to push more power into the bicycle because you are already too fast. So you can play with the cogwheel dimensions and put a really huge gear in, so you can already push at top speed of the motor. Again, with your feet, insert more energy, even at high speeds. If you're driving about 40 kilometers, you would think about suspensions. It's a good point. It's not necessary, but it's a good point because it's really easier that way. So let's see what we need for the bicycle from the PWM stuff. First of all, sure, the hub motor system is necessary. As I told, 20 to 28-inch wheels are no problem. Even smaller wheels are possible, like on a scooter. This is, I think, 15 or 16-inch. So you also can build it into a scooter system. A gas shift, classical, like on a motorcycle, twist gas shift for your hand grip to accelerate. Pedal assist sensor. This is a special thing, Drehsensor auf Deutsch. I will talk about later. It's a recommendation for the legal situation. And for sure, the power controller, which is a black box of the whole system, and the microcontroller. There's everything connected. There are the amplifiers. The controllers here are 20 ampere amplified. And the common voltage range is between 24, that's not true, it's 36, up to 72 volts. So this is a decision, what do you want to do with your batteries? How much battery can you take with you? What is your vehicle? And how many battery packs you want to chain to get on certain voltage. Sure, higher voltage means higher final speed and more torque if you accelerate. So these bikes are driving with 48